I'm Sarah, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking to you about the shopping regrets that have cost me £57,000. That is just a ludicrous amount of money to have spent on things that don't even bring you any joy or any happiness anymore. So I'm going to break those down for you in this video, and hopefully you don't make the same mistakes that I have and you can keep that £57,000 in your high yield savings account, earning you interest. So the first thing that I regret buying is a Goyard handbag. Some of you may have heard of the brand Goyard. It's super popular now, and I bought my handbag based on the hype of the brand. I made a decision when I was just in London one day shopping. I had been thinking about buying the bag for a couple of months before I bought it, and I just pulled the trigger one day when I was in London. I thought it would be really difficult to get a Goyard bag. It is not. I went to the London store on a Friday morning, I think it was. There was no queue outside the store. I went in, there was a small queue inside, but I was literally seen within less than 5 minutes when I entered the store. I had a lovely sales assistant who took me to look at the exact bag that I wanted, that they had in stock, and I bought it there and then. I bought the Goyard Alpine Mini. It's like a rucksack, and it's a beautiful handbag, but it wasn't worth the £2,675 that I paid for it. I don't reach for it. I reach for other handbags that are more practical, and it is definitely an item that I did not need to buy. The second item is also a handbag, and this one is the YSL Lulu handbag. I have this in black with gold hardware. I again purchased this because it was kind of an it bag at the time. I didn't really think too much about the purchase. I ended up in Flannels, which is like a local designer store, and I just bought it because honestly they had a 20% off day, and they said that I could buy the handbag with the 20% off. I wouldn't have bought it otherwise. So even though I got 20% off, and I actually bought mine the week before YSL then put up the price of their handbags with their price increase. So I actually paid £1,400 for my YSL Lulu. And again, I don't reach for it. I use other handbags much, much more. It's very much a going out handbag, and I don't go out. Very rarely will I do that. So it's just not something that's getting any use. And again, £1,400 that I didn't need to spend. Number 3 is not a handbag, but it's a handbag charm. I purchased a Louis Vuitton crab. It's a bag charm. I've put a little picture here for you. Essentially, it was something that I'm terrible for this. Luxury handbags are my downfall. So I have made some really good luxury handbag purchases that I use every day. They really do work hard for me, and they are bags that I love and that I will be using for years to come. But this is not that. I essentially saw the trend on, I can't remember if it was LTK or somewhere, and basically I just thought, wow, that's really cute. Handbag charms are really in. I went into a Louis Vuitton store again in London. I found the one that I wanted immediately, and I didn't even ask the price. I just took it to the till. I actually stupidly thought it was going to be about £250. Now, nothing in Louis Vuitton is £250 that is actually worth buying. I mean, they can get perfumes and things like that, but no handbag or accessory is £250. So I took it to the till. The lady rang it up, and you should have seen my face when she told me the price. This bag charm that I use now, begrudgingly, I'll be honest, to put my AirPods in, because what else can you do with this? I get worried that if I wear it on my bag, someone's going to rip it off and steal it. But ultimately, that was £680. That again was just a complete waste. I bought it with vibes on vibes, and yeah, just a complete waste. I rarely use it, and every time I look at it, it kind of makes me feel a bit sick how much it cost. The next one is not a handbag, but we've talked about this before in my previous videos. I think what I'm learning is my bad purchases are always made on a whim. They're never made with me really thinking about them or being mindful about my purchase. The things that I reach for all the time, or the things that I use all the time, or the things that I get the most joy out of, are things that I've worked hard to save for, and that I've thought really long and hard about, and that I've done my research on. This, again, was not one of those things. We wanted to upgrade our car to buy a Range Rover Sport. That was approximately £45,000. It wasn't brand new because I wouldn't buy a brand new Range Rover. I don't think they're worth it. It was a couple of years old, and we bought it for £45,000. And yeah, we didn't need it. We probably felt guilty as soon as we drove it off the lot, but we were just so happy. It was our dream car. We thought we would love it. But actually, what we learned is we get just as much joy out of our Fiat 500, and it just wasn't worth it. And we ended up selling it. That was £45,000 that I absolutely did not need to spend. The next thing is luxury candles. I have bought a number of luxury candles, and they're from brands like Diptyque, Mason Margiela, Replica. I think in total I've probably spent about £155 on luxury candles, and I don't even burn them. They just sit on my table. I don't want to burn them because they cost so much money. I also don't think candles are great for you with toxins and things like that in the home. And so it's another £155 that we just wasted. The next thing I was definitely influenced to buy, and that is a pair of boots from Russell and Bromley. They were £250, and they're leather boots with a little wedge. I think they look amazing, but sadly they are too narrow for my feet. I have quite wide feet. I knew they didn't fit, but I kept them because I really like the style of them. But the boots didn't fit, so I don't wear them. They are in my cupboard somewhere. I should have sent them back, but I didn't. I wore them the day that I got them. That day I realized they didn't fit and they were really uncomfortable, and it was just a waste of £250. The other one is expensive skincare. I've talked about this a couple of times. I would call my most expensive skincare Elemis. And I think, based on my calculations, just recent years, I have spent about £1,733 on average a year on Elemis skincare products. But I just didn't find that they were doing any more to my skin or making my skin any better than it was when I was using products that were costing a third or half of the price. And spending £1,733 on those creams just didn't seem justifiable anymore. This one might surprise you because I love to read, but it's the Kindle Scribe. It is too big, and I prefer to read physical books. I now I now borrow books from the library, and I just prefer a physical book. The Kindle Scribe, in principle, seemed like a great idea. I envisage myself taking it on holiday and using it all the time. Yeah, I just don't use it. It's just collecting dust. And that was £379.99 that I didn't need to spend. The next one isn't really a luxury purchase, but I think due to the price of the individual items, I would consider them to be on the higher end. And they are COS white t-shirts. I love the brand COS. I love a white t-shirt, but practically they don't really work that well for me. I wear sunscreen, I wear makeup, and what I tend to find is that the collars, it's ironic I'm wearing a white top at the moment, but this actually washes really well. I've had this for years, and it you can wash it and it doesn't stain. And they sort of range in price from £30 up. And I think in total I've spent about £210 on COS white t-shirts. And I think I bought the organic cotton ones, so they're slightly more expensive. And ultimately, they stain. So if I wear sunscreen on my neck, or I wear bronzer or foundation, they really do absorb all of that. And I can never get the neckline to be clean ever again after wearing it once. So they're just a complete waste of money. And what I've realized now is I can get t-shirts that are cotton and from other brands that are cheaper, that wash better, and that I can use again and again and again, rather than just using a t-shirt once and it getting stained and it basically being ruined. So again, £210 that I absolutely did not need to spend. The next one, this is just a crazy thing that I don't even know why I bought it. It is a phone holder. I don't use phone holders. I had never used phone holders when I bought this one. I actually bought it when I was on my honeymoon, and I think I was just in the sort of honeymoon vibe. And where we were staying, they had a Tory Birch store on site, and I was just browsing. And again, it was one of those purchases that I just didn't think about. I just saw it. I thought it was pretty. I thought it would be useful because I was on holiday and we were walking a lot, and I was carrying my phone. And I thought, oh, it'd be amazing to have a phone holder to use for this holiday, but I've never used it since. And it was £280. It's leather, it's orange and tan, and it's just sat in the wardrobe. Just drew me in, and I didn't think much about it. And it was just a mindless thing to do. The next one is foundation. I have gone through so many foundations and I can never find the right shade. I can never find the right consistency. I feel like foundation is something that I just don't need to buy. I much prefer skin tints or tinted moisturizers or sunscreens with a little tint in them. And those are what I use on the daily. That's what I'm using today. I don't wear foundation. I don't like heavy coverage. I like a little bit of skin to show through. So I like light to medium coverage. And I have spent so much money on like Armani foundations, House Labs foundations, Kosas foundations, Hourglass foundations. There've been so many that I've bought. I think I've spent about £124 trying different foundations just recently. And again, they're not worth it. I never use them up. I mean, tell me, what is the secret to getting through a foundation in 12 months? Because they expire after 12 months. And I don't wear foundation regularly enough to even warrant buying one whole tub for like 5 years. So, yeah, didn't need it. Spent £124 on foundations that didn't work for me. Facials. I used to have a thing for facials. I used to love going for a facial and I used to think it would make my skin look so much better. I've tried all sorts. I've tried microneedling facials. I've tried cryotherapy facials. I've tried uh, dermabrasion. I've tried just normal hydrating facials, anti-aging facials. They're just luxury things to do if you have the money and the time. I didn't see any real change in my skin, but the amount I've spent on facials, approximately £582 um, recently, and I just don't think they're worth it. Yeah, I just didn't need to spend the money on them. I just don't find they work, and I think they're overpriced and overhyped. £582 wasted on facials. Next one, maybe a bit controversial, but AirPods Max. I bought these because I saw a lot of people using them and raving about them on social media. And I just thought, well, I use my AirPods, the normal ones that you put in your ear, regularly, and maybe this will be a good sort of game changer for traveling with the noise cancellation and so on. And they do that really well. The noise cancelling feature is amazing, but they are so heavy. You cannot wear them for a whole flight. I can't exercise in them because they're too heavy and I get too sweaty. Like having them on your head just makes you sweat a lot more. If you're on a flight, you can't really sleep with them on. So if you're on a long haul flight, they don't work. I just navigate back to my in ear headphones all of the time. And so it's kind of just sat there and I'm not using them. It's definitely something I didn't need to buy, and they were £499. The next one, again, may be controversial because, people see education as investing in yourself, and I completely agree with that. But I went on a course that didn't really help me that much, and I probably just did it to fill time and meet new people. I did a course, and yeah, it just didn't. I walked away from it not really knowing that much more than I did before I signed up. And so I just feel like courses need to be well researched. You need to know why you're doing a course. What is the value you're going to get from that course? Are you just doing it because you enjoy learning new things, which is great? I fully support that. But if you're going to do that, put the money aside for it and save for that course. And, if you're just doing a course because you're bored, it kind of feels like a waste of money for me. The last course I did cost me £157, and I don't use the information I got from it. So I think courses that are just aimless and you're not sort of really invested in your business or something that's going to allow you to move forward in a positive sense and have a lot of learning from it, yeah, just doesn't work for me. And I would not spend another £157 on a course. Lash lifts and lash extensions. I used to have lash extensions and I had those for a number of years. I stopped a few years ago now. I grow my lashes now. I don't have lash extensions. But when I did, the lash extensions required sort of weekly upkeep or 2 weekly upkeep. And I think on average in a year, I was spending about £740 on lash extensions. They look nice. It saved me time in the morning. I didn't have to put mascara on, but ultimately they were not good for my lashes. Also, it was just, I had to find time in my week every week to go and get them topped up. It's a lot of maintenance, and the lady that did my lashes was amazing, but it is just the maintenance and it's the way that the extensions are. I just now I use mascara, it's quick, or I just don't wear any makeup. It saves me a lot of money. I'm not spending £740 a year on eyelash extensions. The other thing that I think I've wasted my money on is luxury hand creams. So I have spent about £200 to £500 a year, I would say, on luxury hand creams. Again, from brands like Aesop, Neom, any luxury brand will sell you a hand cream, and I used to love them. I love using hand creams, but I just now use my body lotion. It's like an unscented body lotion that I got from Boots that was like £5. They smell nice, but that's about it. Are they worth the price tag? Absolutely not. You can get much cheaper hand creams that will do exactly the same thing. The next one is a Burberry bucket hat. I bought this again on a whim. I don't know. Well, I do know. This is why I don't shop mindlessly anymore. This is why I have a wish list. I only buy things that I have saved for in advance. I don't buy things that I'm influenced to buy anymore. But it pains me to say that I did walk into a designer store one day, see a Burberry bucket hat, and go, I need to have that. I have worn it probably twice. I don't think it even fits my head properly, to be honest. And that was £325. And it's just not something I reach for. It doesn't really go with anything in my wardrobe. And yeah, it's just another mindless designer purchase. This one's a little crazy. I have bought a number of pairs of designer earrings, mainly Vivienne Westwood, and I really like the pearl design that she had and the orb. And I have really sensitive ears, so I can't wear a lot of earrings because they irritate my ears. And the Vivienne Westwood earrings irritated my ears, but I bought 2 or 3 pairs of them for some reason because I thought if I tried different versions, maybe they wouldn't irritate my ears so much. I ended up spending £450 on 3 pairs of Vivienne Westwood earrings that I have now chucked in the bin. So yeah, total waste of money. Don't even know why I did that. Didn't think it through. Pointless. Designer sunglasses. I have spent in the last couple of years at least £500 on designer sunglasses that A, don't look good on my face, and B, don't really fit my face that well. I have, I think, I'm not sure. I don't know if I have a wide face or whatever. It sounds weird, but I feel like sunglasses don't really always fit my head that well. I have to really try on a number of pairs. I bought 2 pairs, one from a brand called Gentle Monster, and I think the other one were a Prada pair. And yeah, they just didn't look good on me. I don't wear them. I don't even know where the Prada pair are. But yeah, I reach for other sunglasses that are much cheaper that I bought years ago rather than these 2 pairs that I've bought more recently. And I just don't need designer sunglasses. I can buy good quality sunglasses that will protect my eyes and look good from high street stores, or I just don't need the designer logos and they're not worth the money. I scratch my sunglasses, I sit on them. Yeah, I just don't need the designer price tag. The sunglasses, I spent £500 on 2 pairs. A brand called Varley, and it's something specific from them. I actually really like their tracksuits, but I bought a knit from Varley. I really like to invest in good knitwear, and this was just again one of those purchases I didn't really think that much about. I bought it because I thought it looked nice, but actually the quality isn't great and it doesn't really go with anything else in my wardrobe. For that jumper, I paid £168. I think I've worn it once and I probably won't wear it again. The neckline's quite high and it just doesn't look good on me. It's not worth investing in. I'd much rather buy cashmere and wool items, buy less of those and have them last a long time. I just don't think that this knit is durable. It doesn't look that great on me. And yeah, it was just a purchase that I didn't need to make. And the last item is expensive workout sets from Lululemon, Sweaty Betty, Varley again could be in there, Adanola. I think I've spent approximately £852 on expensive gym wear. I do wear my Lululemon leggings that I bought years ago, but they don't stay in good condition. So if you wash them, they tend to bobble. They are quite thin. Um, they are comfortable, but I just don't think they're worth the price. So Lululemon, Adanola, Varley, um, all of those things, Sweaty Betty, I just find them to be really overpriced for what they are. The quality isn't there. After you wash them, you can see a difference. And I just don't want to be spending that money on them anymore. I think in total, as I said, I've spent £852 on expensive gym wear. So in total, I have spent over £57,000 on luxury items that just didn't work for me. I don't find value in, and I just regret buying. Most of them were bought on a whim. I didn't think the purchases through. I didn't save for them. I didn't put them on a wish list. I didn't wait to purchase them. I purchased them just because I felt the need to at the time. And I ultimately regretted all of these purchases. And I now look to a more sustainable way of shopping. And I want to save for my future. I want to invest my money. And I want to make sure that I'm buying quality when I do buy things and that I'm really mindful about my spending. These purchases didn't just drain my bank account, they drained my energy, and I just feel frustrated that I've bought these things. Um, Leave a comment below if you've fallen into any of the same traps and let me know if you agree with what I've said about these products or if you really enjoy them, why that is. Hopefully, you're much more mindful with your spending than I have been and you haven't wasted over £57,000 on luxury items that you didn't need. If you have bought items like this, we need to move forward from it. There's no judgment. Drop me a comment below to let me know your biggest luxury purchases that you regret. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.